Hi, I'm John, and welcome to another Product Spotlight. Today we have HO scale AC44C6M models from the Scaletrains Rivet Counter series. These are available as DCC ready or DCC equipped. The DCC ready version, at the time of this recording, is being offered for $225, and the DCC and sound equipped version, which these are being offered for $335. And the models come with everything you see here, including the owner's manual and a bag of extra parts, which looks like extra bearing end caps. Now, Scaletrains has a whole bunch of these in various paint schemes and road numbers, so your best bet is to go to the Scaletrains website and see if they have the ones you're looking for. This week, we'll have a look at this one. So this week, we're looking at the number 4000. This one's referred to as the Sonic Bonnet. And this is a really interesting paint scheme, I think. Something you don't see every day. Well, I guess unless you work for NS. But like the other ones we've been looking at for the past few weeks here, it has all that same kind of photo-etched grill detail, all in the back and all in the front here. Lots of photo-etched stuff. It has the see-through radiator fan, which we'll look at in a minute. And this model has astoundingly good paint and markings too, just like the other ones. And all those little lines up in here under magnification look perfect. I mean, the blue and gray separation and the blue and yellow separation lines are really crisp. It's just a really well done paint job. The detail around the front of the model is really well done. It includes everything from the sunshades and little rear view mirrors and stuff that's along the cab window here. And also on top of the hood here, you have separately applied grabs, what appears to be separately applied sand filler hatch details. Up here, there's separately applied very thin wire grabs above the windshield. The windshield wipers are tiny, separately applied detail parts. It's a fully detailed cab interior, which is particularly cool. And then down the front of the nose, you can see it has separately applied grabs really everywhere you look. And the handrail detail also is separately applied. Looks especially good because it's a different color, so it really is offset from the background, right? The horse logo looks good on the front as well, and the striping on the front is very crisply done. We have little, what I call safety stripes along the edges of the stairs, and these are photo-etched see-through stairs, which is really cool. The deck has a diamond plate tread on it. And then if you look at the pilot area, you can see that there's a separately applied snowplow, separately applied hose detail. There's separately applied grabs on the snowplow. There's ditch lights, an MU cable here that looks like it could actually unplug and be plugged into something else. That's just a really super detailed front end. From this angle, you can see a little bit more of the detail on the front, like this additional hose detail here. It's kind of obscured by the coupler from the other angle. And by the way, it is a knuckle coupler, of course. Something I didn't notice on the other side is that there are extra MU receptacles up in here underneath the walkway. Here's a look at the fireman's side. And I always take the fireman's side as an opportunity to tip the model up and show you all of the detail that's under the sill. There's an astounding amount of little conduits and cables that go along underneath the sill. It's just amazing to look at how much stuff they've put under there. And also, when you tip the model up like this, you can see that there's a lot of detail in the trucks. And something I failed to mention, but I will this time, failed to mention on the other ones, is that these models all come with what I'm going to call pre-rusted wheel faces, which is a nice touch because if you have to do that yourself, it's kind of a pain. And I'm going to point out the separately applied brake wheel back here. That also looks really good. I also mentioned how the radiator fan grill back here is see-through. And if you look, you can see there's also a radiator fan housing back in there that you can see. A look at the rear of the model reveals a lot of the same kind of detail we saw on the front, including those see-through steps over here, photo etched. All the little separately applied grabs that are painted a different color. Also on the back, you can see this model has spare knuckle holders here. There's one on the other side too. Kind of hard to see from this angle. We'll look at the other angle in a minute. But yeah, I mean, this is, separately applied grabs, right? They go up the back that constitute the ladder back here. Pretty cool. And here's another 3/4 angle. The last one we're going to look at. But you can see the additional MU connection here, more hose detail back here, and another spare knuckle holder. Pretty cool. Here's a look at the roof detail of the model. It has separately applied photo etched grills on top of the radiator fan area, and it has a smokestack that has a bit of depth to it. It also appears to be painted black inside there, so the illusion of depth is even more complete that way. Here we have your horn casting, which it's very interesting on these models. The horns are also prototype specific, which is something I think is really cool. And then on this model, we have a fully decked out PTC array on top of the cab. All right, now it's time to run the model. We'll start by activating the sound with F8. Now I've muted the model. We're going to run it without the sound turned on to see what the mechanism sounds like. Pretty quiet going in the forward direction. but I thought I noticed, and I'm going to check again here, thought I noticed a little growl in the reverse direction on this one. Yeah, there's a little growl this direction. Probably just needs to be broken in a bit. It's a very smooth runner, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're going to take a look at the lights now. The headlight is directional, and it comes on with F0. The ditch lights come on with F6. And by the way, when you sound the horn, you get that alternating flashing. And when you push F8, a whole bunch of other lights come on. You can see that a ground light came on down here. There's a little walkway light up in here in the front of the nose. The number boards also came on. And there's another walkway light back here near the step. You can toggle the number boards on and off with F14 when the sound is on. Now we're looking at the rear of the model, and when I put it in reverse, the rear headlight and rear ditch lights come on. Once again, you get that alternating flashing action with the ditch lights when you blow the horn, and you can see that the little walkway light back in here is also active when the sound is turned on. Well, that's the last of the AC44C6M models we have to look at. And I think I saved the most interesting looking one for the last. I've been really impressed with these models and have to say that Scaletrains just does a great job with the super detailed, good sounding and good running models. So great job, Scaletrains. I'll see you all next time.